I've recently been reading about the autism spectrum disorder since there are valuable findings around the autism from an evolutionary standpoint. One of the fascinating statements that I confronted was saying that Einstein was autistic, and it was said by Professor Ian James and some other prominent psychologists. As I read their words, I found out that they had came to this conclusion based on some of Einstein's behavioral characteristics, and I wanted to be justified from a neuroscientific perspective. So I went to dig deeper about the Einstein's brain because I knew that the brain was removed when he died in 1955. The brain was actually removed in the Princeton Hospital by Thomas Harvey. He was actually a pathologist. The brain was fixed, measured, photographed, and sectioned into 240 blocks. One of the things that shocked me was the amount of articles written about his brain. That only during 2017, 393 articles was published about the Einstein brain in just only a 1-year period. Anyways, Einstein had a thin cortex with enlarged cortical surface. And these are two main characteristics of an autistic individual's brain. And what's amazing in this, from an evolutionary perspective, is that the cortical thinning was consequence of highly compacted neurons, not having less cortical neurons than a normal person, which sounds like an evolutionary advantage. Although the wrinkled cortical surface can be justified by his age, because he was kind of 76 when he died. Also, the ratio of glial cells to the neurons in the Einstein brain was higher than normal people, which is attributed to higher intelligence. And yet, such findings are common amongst the autistic brains, and these are what makes autism such weird, through the spectacles of neural and evolutionary sciences. One other thing that I read in an article written by Dean Falk, well, this guy has actually written plenty of articles about the Einstein brain, was that Einstein had a preference for thinking in sensory impressions, including visual images rather than words. And it also took longer for Einstein to start speaking as a kid. Well, it can stand beside the autistic people's weak language skills and vivid imaginations, referred to as common experience of visual hallucinations, that the autistic people have. Because the underlying mechanisms are quite similar, if not exactly the same. Well, these are the findings that I recently had. Frankly, autism has kept fascinating me through these past days. Thought it would sound nice to share some of them. Have a good day.